pleasure to be here. I must say that the talk that you just heard by Jackie Hunter is really the ideal introduction to what I will try to explain to you in the next 20 minutes or so. And this is not a surprise because Jackie has indeed been instrumental in leading the establishment of this new European program, the Innovative Medicines Initiative. And I'm sure that after this first talk, you are convinced that indeed we need more public-private partnership in order to tackle the current issues in the pharmaceutical sector. Now, what I would like to do now is to explain how this partnership was established and to tell you a bit about the first achievements of this partnership. So what is the Innovative Medicines Initiative, IMI? You have to know that so far, worldwide, it's the largest public-private partnership in life science research and development. And it was organized in the early 2000s by building a program which joins the European Commission and the European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Association. So at the level of the European Commission, it was decided that a fraction of the budget dedicated to health research in the 7th Framework Program would be indeed allocated to this partnership. And on the industry side, this federation, which gathers all major large pharmaceutical companies having activities in Europe, decide to match this contribution of the European Commission in the form of in-kind contribution. And as you can see, the total budget of this initiative is 2 billion euros to be spent until 2017. So how does this work? What these partnerships try to achieve is to launch joint projects which indeed meets the expectation and the needs of the industry as they were defined, which means that open innovation and pre-competitive research are keywords. Open innovation means that partnership with academia, biotechs, but also, and I will insist on that, patients' organization, is really at the core of the IMI projects. And the other key concept is pre-competitive research. So what means pre-competitive research? It means that pharmaceutical companies agree that even though they are competing on the market, they identify a number of areas in which they would like to collaborate together because they think that this will be beneficial to all of them. And there are other examples of this type of pre-competitive collaboration in other sectors, for example, in the defense industry or in life insurance companies. And the projects are organized along these two concepts, which means that the process starts by several large pharmaceutical companies, members of FPR, discussing together and establish priorities on which they identified the need to work together. They decide to work together and they decide to commit resources to research on this particular topic. So they establish a so-called FPR consortium made of several. Here you have 6, you might have more, you might have less. And this company draft a work program. But not only they decide to work together, they decide to commit resources together, but they also identify the need for external collaboration. They realize that even if they are working together on certain topics, they still need external collaboration. And for this, they ask the Innovative Medicines Initiative to search in the scientific community, among biotechs, among patients' organizations, to search for the best partners who might indeed contribute to solve the issues defined by the companies. And it is our work at the Innovative Medicine Initiative Executive Office to organize the process of selecting a consortium of academia, biotechs, patient organizations, sometimes even regulators, which are institutions which can benefit from the public funding through the European Commission. This is a competitive process, and once the best consortium is identified, it is invited to merge with the predefined consortium of the pharmaceutical companies, and this now will become the final consortium which will develop the final project and which will start indeed the research activities. As you can see, as you can imagine, such a process is not an easy one. As already mentioned, it implies a vision, it implies cultural changes, both within companies and within academia, because this type of close partnership is not indeed usual. Among the hurdles to be addressed, as you can imagine, intellectual property management is not the easiest, but we have now the experience with our first wave of 15 projects that most of the difficult IP issues can be solved, and indeed they were solved through the establishment within this initiative of a specific IP policy which indeed establish a number of principles which can look quite straightforward, but it's very important to keep this in mind when indeed IP sharing is negotiated. It's also very important to provide flexibility. One size will not fit all in this field, and we indeed provide flexibility depending on the project objective to manage the intellectual property between the partners. Now, our role at the Executive Office of the initiative is to act as a neutral third-party body which basically is there to facilitate the process, to help the participants to find agreements. We are also there, obviously, to monitor the appropriate use, the combined use of the public funds and the industrial investments. And I refer to the IP management. We are also there, when needed, to facilitate agreements around IP and indeed to guarantee that there are fair and reasonable conditions for the exploitation of knowledge, and to guarantee that indeed innovation is rewarded at the end. Now, these are the principles. Where are we so far? I will give you in a moment a series of selected examples. I think that what we can already state is that at least in defining some boundaries, at least, of pre-competitive research and organizing pre-competitive research, the collaboration between companies, the indeed partnership with academia, biotechs, patients' organization, we have already some significant success. And perhaps one of the best demonstrations of this is this very recent article by Janet Woodcock, who, as most of you probably know, is a senior scientist at the FDA, who in this paper first defines what pre-competitive research is in practice. She emphasized that it was done by Jackie, the changes, the cultural changes that are needed to really translate pre-competitive research in indeed valuable activities. But from an IMI perspective, it's remarkable that in this article, she really considered that IMI is probably one of the best models ahead of the ongoing initiative in the United States. So that's certainly for us a strong encouragement to continue the way we are doing so far. Now, the founders of this initiative were quite ambitious. They identify at the very beginning the major bottlenecks in drug development. And obviously there are a number of those bottlenecks, both when you are looking on more efficacious innovative drugs, when you are trying to enhance the process of safety assessment, and when you want to reduce late-stage failures. And it was also recognized since the beginning that the way information and knowledge are managed is critical for the success of such a partnership. And also, it was immediately realized that you need a long-term vision to implement this type of partnership, and you have really to prepare a new generation of scientists, of physicians, both within academia and within industry, in order to have these new models working long-term. Now, you will have examples of projects dealing with these different aspects. As I mentioned, really pre-competitive research, open innovation are really at the basis of all our projects. I would say that there is another key element, which is the importance of understanding the mechanism behind both efficacy and safety questions. And it's very interesting that, mechanism has always been a major area of interest for academia, but now it's very clear, as you know, in industry, that, mechanisms are really extremely important, I would say, in every step of drug development. And actually, this was quite well illustrated, not only by recent success, but also by recent failures, again, as discussed in this recent article in Nature Medicine. Now, you are certainly all familiar with the fact that mechanism matters in terms of developing more targeted and more efficient therapies. For example, you have a number of examples now in the oncology field, and this, in a nutshell, is summarized in the personalized medicine concept, where you try to stratify the patients and to treat them with tailor-made appropriate therapies. The point I would like to make here is that mechanisms also matter when you are considering drug safety. And in a way, the same concepts of mechanistic understanding and personalized medicines, which are very often considered mostly from an efficacy perspective, also apply to drug safety, to the analysis of benefit risk in relation with novel therapies.